everyone, welcome to the video, kind of part 2 of moles and particles, where we look at a more involved or a multi-step question where we're talking about atoms of a compound instead of just molecules or atoms of an element. So again, if you haven't done so already, I want you to pause the video and take down these notes that you see in front of you, because everything will refer back to that. I'm going to say step 1, step 2, or step A, B, or C. All right, so we're going to start with this problem right here. Question number 8 on the moles and particles practice sheet. Just like we've always done, we need to do our first 2 steps. So we need to find what the question wants, and then we need to find what is given in the question. In this case, my keywords are determine the number of, and so that's what I want, moles of calcium carbonate. The words don't really help me out, so I'm going to focus more here on the formula. And if that wasn't given, you should be able to get that on your own using your nomenclature stuff. Then I need to find what the question wants, what the question gives me, and that's always going to be number, units, and a substance. So here we have 3.01 times 10 to the 24th, that's my number, atoms of, and since it doesn't say anything, all we need to focus on here is it says total number. So I'm going to be looking at this calcium carbonate, this same thing. And hopefully all the problems that we do, for the most part right now, are going to be the same starting and ending substance. The only time that's going to change is if we're looking for a specific atom, or once we get to, don't worry about that, but we'll get there one day. So let's start with what we've got. We need to write down what we're given, 3.01 times 10 to the 24th atoms in CaCO3. And I draw my chart. So step 1 and step 2 we did in the red and green. Then I just did step 3A, where we write down what's given and draw the chart. Now, step B is we need to plug in our equalities, and that's not always easy to see which quality to use, because when we see atoms, our brains are often very tempted to use the 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. But we need to ask ourselves, atoms of what? In this case, we're looking at atoms of calcium carbonate. And because this atoms is plural, we have to count those atoms and talk about how many molecules before we can go and talk about the mole. So I'm going to put atoms of CaCO3 down here. Why did I put it down there? Remember, we have to cancel out our units. If atoms is here, then atoms is there. And so I canceled out those units. And then on top, typically goes what we want. But in this case, we can't go to moles yet because we got to figure out how many atoms are in this molecule. So molecules is where we're going to go before we can stop at the mole station. And I'm just going to draw my chart here. So what numbers are we going to plug in? Of course, molecules is going to be 1. So for every 1 molecule, how many atoms of CaCO3 are there? Well, in order to do this, you just have to count. Literally, you have to count. So looking at CaCO3, I have 1 calcium, I have 1 carbon, and then I have 1, 2, 3 oxygens. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus another is 5. So I have 5 total atoms in this 1 molecule. Oh, I missed the C up here. My bad. Boop. CaCO3. Okay, so I have this many atoms, divided by 5 atoms for every 1 molecule. Now let's do our last step here. The question wants moles, and I'm not to moles yet, so I know that's where I need to go. And so I'm definitely going to have 1 mole up top, because remember, 1 always goes with mole. And molecules, well, if I have 1 mole, how many molecules? Your brain should right away think 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of calcium carbonate. And there you have it. Again, our units cancel out. here we have molecules and molecules canceling out, and then I'm left with moles. We should always check that what we have on the top right of our chart matches what we highlighted in red, and in this case it does. So that's going to be our units of our answer. We plug this in the calculator, and we'll get a number. So I'm just going to plug this in real quick so that you can check your work. So 3.01 E24 divided by 5, enter, divided by 6.02 E23, enter. Oh, wait, did I do that right? I did. What a tricky trickster question. How convenient. The answer is 1 mole CaCO3. Perfect. That worked out well. So this is what the calculator gave me, and it's as easy as that. So watch this video and the simpler one if you need to, kind of take a couple steps back and let me know what you need. Thank you.